Welcome to Anonymous Stories. If you've ever wondered what really happens behind closed doors, you're in the right place. Here, we dive into the most shocking, jaw-dropping, and scandalous infidelity stories, real confessions from people who've lived through betrayal, heartbreak, and revenge. New stories drop every week, so don't miss out. Hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications to stay updated. Let's get to 1,000 subscribers before the end of the month. I know we can do it.
I always believed that trust was the bedrock of our relationship. Sarah and I had been together for 5 years, and I was convinced that our bond was unbreakable. We shared dreams, laughter, and countless memories. But as Valentine's Day approached, I began to notice subtle changes in her behavior. She started working late more frequently, her phone was always on silent, and she seemed distant, lost in her thoughts. I tried to dismiss my growing unease, attributing it to the stress of her demanding job. But the nagging feeling that something was amiss refused to leave me. On the eve of Valentine's Day, I decided to surprise Sarah at her office with her favorite takeout. As I approached her building, I saw her exiting with a man I didn't recognize. They were laughing, their faces illuminated by the streetlights. I felt a pang of jealousy, but quickly chastised myself for jumping to conclusions. After all, he could be a colleague, right? That night, Sarah was unusually affectionate, showering me with kisses and whispering sweet nothings. I wanted to believe that everything was fine, that my suspicions were unfounded. But the image of her with that man lingered in my mind. Valentine's Day arrived, and I had planned an elaborate evening to celebrate our love. A candlelit dinner at our favorite restaurant, followed by a walk along the river where we first met. Sarah seemed genuinely touched by the effort I had put into the evening. But as we sat across from each other, I couldn't shake the feeling that she was hiding something. After dinner, as we strolled hand in hand along the riverbank, I mustered the courage to voice my concerns. "Sarah, is everything okay? You've seemed distant lately." She hesitated, her grip on my hand loosening. "Why would you think that?" she replied, avoiding my gaze. I took a deep breath, trying to steady my racing heart. "I saw you last night with that man outside your office. Who is he?" Her face paled and she looked away, the silence between us growing heavier by the second. "He's just a colleague," she finally said, but her voice lacked conviction. I wanted to believe her, to trust her words, but the doubt had already taken root. That night, as Sarah slept beside me, I couldn't find peace. I got out of bed and went to the living room, my mind racing. I remembered that Sarah had given me access to her email a while back, when she needed me to print something for her. I knew it was wrong, a violation of her privacy, but I was desperate for answers. I logged into her account, my hands trembling. As I sifted through her emails, I found a thread between her and a man named Mark. The exchanges started innocently enough, discussing work projects and meetings. But as I scrolled further, the tone shifted. There were late-night emails filled with personal confessions, shared jokes, and plans to meet outside of work. My heart sank as I read an email from Mark, sent just a week ago. "Last night was amazing. I can't stop thinking about you. When can I see you again?" Sarah's response was equally damning. "I feel the same way. Let's meet after work tomorrow." I felt a surge of anger, betrayal, and heartbreak. The woman I loved, the person I trusted most in the world, had been unfaithful. I confronted Sarah the next morning. At first, she denied everything, but when I showed her the emails, she broke down in tears, apologizing profusely. She claimed it was a mistake, a moment of weakness, but the damage was done. In the days that followed, I vacillated between anger and sorrow. I wanted to forgive her, to salvage the life we had built together, but every time I looked at her, all I could see was her betrayal. Ultimately, I decided to end our relationship. The trust that had once been our foundation was shattered, and I couldn't envision a future together. It's been a year since that fateful Valentine's Day. I've learned that love is fragile, and trust, once broken, is nearly impossible to mend. I've moved on, focusing on healing and rediscovering myself, but the scars remain, a reminder of the pain of betrayal. Valentine's Day used to be a celebration of love for me. Now it's a reminder of the importance of trust and the devastating consequences when it's broken. Please like, subscribe, and comment where you're watching from. Let's get to 1,000 subscribers in the end of this month. There'll be a giveaway, but for the first set of my supporters,